In this video, we're going to look at how you calculate the area of a trapezium. Before we do that, we need to make sure we understand what a trapezium actually is. So a trapezium is any four-sided shape where there are one pair of parallel lines. So this shape here has a pair of parallel lines. Those top and bottom lines never ever meet, so they're parallel, and it's got four sides, so that's a trapezium. This one looks fairly similar just on its side, but again we have two parallel lines. These two are parallel, the other two are not. Therefore it's a trapezium. It's got four sides as well. And this one here, this is also a trapezium. We've got the set of parallel lines like that, and then the other two sides. This one, sometimes people mistake this and don't think it's a trapezium, although it is, because it's got the pair of parallel lines and four sides. But it's got these two right angles here. Typically, when you draw a trapezium, you would draw one like this, the first one. Sometimes like the second one on its side here, but this third one is also a trapezium. It fits the definition. So let's look at how you calculate the area then. Well, there's a formula for this. It goes like this. It's got 1/2 of brackets a plus bh, and if you use that, we'll get the area, where a here is the parallel side and b is the other parallel side, and h is the distance between those two sides when a right angle is formed. So we often call it h because it looks like the height of the shape if it's drawn this way around. So in our example here, we've got a parallel side and another parallel side. So a would be 8, b would be 12. These are the two parallel sides, and the distance between them, the height, 7. So what we do is we would write down area equals 1/2 times brackets, and then inside the brackets we've got a plus b, so those were our two parallel sides here, 8 and 12. 8 plus 12, and then multiplied by the height, and we said the height h was 7, so multiplied by 7. But then what I would do next is go inside the bracket and do that addition, so 8 plus 12 is 20, and then times by 7, and then finally you can half 20 in your head, so half of 20 is 10, and then multiply that by 7, you get 70 centimeters squared. So the steps here are to write out the formula, decide what a, b and h are, so a and b are the parallel ones and h is the height or the distance between them, and then calculate what that gives you and remember your units at the end, so area centimeters squared. Let's look at a second example. So for this one, slightly different. Our parallel sides are at the side rather than top and bottom, so 6 and 10 are the parallel sides this time, so they're a and b, and 8 is going to be the height h. Now some people would think that 9 will be the height, but you'll notice here in the diagram that we end up with a right angle formed between those sides a and b and then h. So the true height here, where we form a right angle, is 8. So for this one, area equals, so we write out the formula again, 1/2 times by brackets a plus b. A and b are the parallel ones, that's 6 and 10. And then multiplied by the height, which we said was 8. So area equals 1/2 times 6 add 10, that's 16, times 8. And then half of 16, that's 8, times another 8, that's 64 centimeters squared. Okay, here are 3 examples for you to practice on. So for each one, use the formula. I'll write that down for you. Area equals 1/2 bracket a plus b h. So press pause, have a go at these 3, and then press play again, and I'll tell you what the answers were. Okay, here are the answers then. So for this first one, we need to do 1/2 of 12 plus 8, and then multiply that by the height 3, and this 4 here was again one of those values you don't need. It looks like the height, but it doesn't make a right angle. So that's 1/2 times by 20 times by 3, and then finally half of 20 is 10 times by 3 is 30 centimeters squared. For this second one, we've got 1/2 times 4 plus 7 times 3, which equals 1/2 times 7 add 4 is 11, and then times 3. So a half of 11 is 5.5, and then times that by 3 is 16.5 centimeters squared. And the final one, we've got 1/2 of, and then this time the parallel sides are at the side here, 7 and 11, so 7 plus 11 times the height 6. Again, this 7 here wasn't needed, so you end up with 1/2 times 18 times 6, and a half of 18 is 9, times that by 6 is 54 centimeters squared. That completes the video on area of trapezium, so make sure you learn that formula to use and watch out for common mistakes such as using the wrong height. Thanks for watching.